Okay, let's talk about crazy things that buyers sometimes do while they're under contract to purchase a home. You know, these are the things that you should not do when under contract to buy a home. So in this video, I'm gonna give you top 5 things that you should avoid doing, and if done, can take you from a pre-approval to not approved or denied by the lender. So let's jump in and get started with the 5 things to avoid. Number 1, starting to pay your bills late or possibly missing a due date. Okay, so you got pre-approved for your mortgage. Remember, you're just pre-approved. You're not approved, or we say in the industry, clear to close. So at any time, the lender can pull your credit or pull that loan back or inquire on things as they require. Nothing is etched in stone until you get to that closing table and you sign on the dotted line. I've had this happen to a client of mine. Oh gosh, this goes back about 25 years. I'm getting old. Somewhere in the late 1990s, maybe 97, 98-ish. We were under contract for a few weeks and the lender was working on getting all the paperwork together. And that's when I receive a call from my buyer client. Well, one half of the buyer client. Let's just say Mrs. Smith, to protect her identity, because her husband had recently paid some of their bills late and it dropped their overall credit score. Down went that credit score. What you're saying to the lender is, I can't afford to pay my bills, or maybe I'm not really skilled at managing the financial obligation that is in front of me. Now that could be a problem for the lender in the lender's eyes. It could just be that you've been irresponsible or you got really busy in life and forgot. The lender is not forgiving. It's not that you didn't have the money, but to the lender it looks like this person's having trouble paying their car payment or trouble paying their credit card bills. And they're gonna go, do we really wanna lend to this individual? So let's think about that. The lender is thinking, why would we give them more money, like a mortgage, and a bigger debt if they can't pay their regular obligations? So not only does it drop your credit score, a huge red flag goes to the underwriters, those folks that are gonna give the final approval and really dig into your finances. It could result in a loan rejection, so continue to pay your bills on time. So number 2, at the beginning, when you get pre-approved, the lender will ask you for loan-related items, like your check stubs, your W-2s, plus all other required items needed for the loan process. So one of my clients gave incorrect, old or altered check stubs or pay stubs. I don't know exactly which one it was. And they did this during the initial loan process. They look at your check stubs and they trust what you're saying. However, the loan still had to go through underwriting. And the underwriter, based on the check stubs, or in the places of employment that you work, they're looking at all that. So the underwriter is gonna call those places of employment. Now, in this example, they called one of the places of employment that the buyer had on their application, and that was the check stub that they gave them, and they found out that the client didn't work there anymore. Hasn't worked there in over a year. Now that became a huge red flag. So they were denied the loan from this lender and they had to go find another lender. Eventually, they were able to close on the home. However, the closing was delayed and they were lucky the seller waited for them. They had to get a new lender, submit all the current paperwork without any mistakes. Remember to always take the high road. They will verify and re-verify everything and anything, well, almost everything. Count on the lender calling your employment to see if you still work there. Count on them following up on any rental verifications you give them. Count on them to verify all the paperwork that you submitted during the loan process. And sometimes even after you close on the loan. Yes, you heard me correct. Even after you close on the loan. Next is number 3, becoming self-employed. Yikes, don't do it until after you close on the loan. So you've started out the loan process as a W-2 employee, and then at some point during this process, and at some point along the way, you decide to switch jobs or careers, which sometimes is okay if it's in a comparable or same job category or field, and if your lender knows about it. So if you're gonna change your job or career, call the lender and see if this is gonna be an issue. You may wanna stay at that current job long enough to close on your new loan. Remember, going from a W-2 paid position to self-employed position while seeking a new loan will almost always ruin your chances of getting that new loan. Number 4, avoid large purchases, especially when you're under contract to purchase a home and have started the loan process or getting ready to start that loan process. A lot of times you're really excited about the new house and you start shopping for those big furniture ticket items. You might buy a refrigerator, you might buy furniture, oh gosh, or even a car. Don't do it. And you put that on credit, it could hurt your chances of purchasing a new home. Not only did you open a new credit account, that can impact your credit score, you've increased your debt. Or if you're paying in cash, you've reduced the amount of money in your bank account, which tosses another red flag to the underwriter, especially if you're supposed to have a certain dollar amount of cash reserves. So it's really not a good idea to make large purchases during the time that you're under contract and applying for a mortgage. So before you make any large purchases, check with your lender first. It's better to be safe in the short term and not jeopardize that loan process. We are at number 5 already. The last one is large deposits into your bank account. When you're going through the pre-approval and loan approval process, the lender is counting on all the income for your down payment. They want this to come from you, unless you've already documented that you're using gift money or gift funds or money from some other source, maybe a retirement fund. All your funds do need to be documented and the source provided to the lender. Now, if you have not documented that information to them, they're thinking that perhaps you're getting your down payment or closing costs from someplace else, and that's a big no-no. So for an example, let's say you need $15,000 for your down payment and $5,000 to cover your closing costs. And you ask a friend if you could borrow $5,000, and that person puts that $5,000 into your bank account. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Immediately, the underwriter is wondering where this $5,000 came from and why. Why do you have the extra deposit? Can you not afford your own down payment? Can you not afford your own closing costs? The underwriter will definitely be asking about large deposits that are outside what you normally deposit. Now, this could result in your loan being denied, depending on where that money came from. So please stay away from those large deposits and always talk with your lender first. If you should have any additional questions about the Northwest Suburban Marketplace, or more specifically on any of the suburban communities we feature on this channel, make sure you give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. However you want to get a hold of us, know that we've got your back when moving to or out of Chicago's suburban communities. For more specific property information, like what's currently on the market or what has recently sold, visit our website at illinoispropertysearch.com. Once again, that's illinoispropertysearch.com. This is where you'll find one of the easiest, friendliest property search tools in the industry. I promise you that. Thanks for watching. I'm Paul Ambrogio, licensed real estate broker in the state of Illinois and the wonderful state of Florida. If you're thinking about making a move from Illinois to Florida or Florida to Illinois, I want to be your go-to real estate broker. Please give me a call. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.